Yo. So I'm walking through the bush this morning and I would like to recount my first ayahuasca experience, and I will keep it quick because I'm filming this unexpectedly on my phone. Also, I got up to get some water and now I'm filming in the middle of the bush. So, God. So first night, I guess I did arrive with big expectations, and Mother Ayahuasca didn't give me what I wanted. The first night I actually drank 3 cups, which is quite a substantial amount of ayahuasca, and I felt practically nothing. Kind of nice, kind of buzzy, whatever. Nothing substantial though. So I decided to stay for another night. I'd originally planned only the one, just due to work and everything. And oh my God, am I glad that I did. Cockatoos reefing trees apart. It was easily the most intense experience of my life. I know it's very cliche to say it changed my life. It was a life-changing experience, but I literally cannot avoid that term. It's got a little shelter up there. Just the intensity. Oh my God. Several hours of being completely in my head, having, again, I don't want to sound cliche here, but having revelation coming so hard that, I tried to jot down some things afterwards, and I think I got maybe like 8 things noted down, but there were a hell of a lot more. So next time I will, and yes, there will be a next time, I will be bringing a notepad. And when I say next time, it won't be like next week, because I am wiped out this morning. I feel very energized, very clear and very peaceful, but my body feels like it's done 12 rounds with Tyson, like just absolutely knackered. So, God, where to start? So yeah, with just the 1 cup I had the second night, and the first thing I noticed is how my mood and my feeling changed with the music. So he'd be playing one type of music and I'd be lying there kind of like, don't feel that much. And then as soon as he started playing this drum, it was almost instant. My guts just went. It's like my stomach fell out from under me. And I launched right up and hurled, just purged substantially into my bucket. But in a weird way, it's cathartic. And then once I did, the whole room was off. It was intense purging from 30-40 people there. And kangaroos everywhere. And that is when shit got real. Oh my God. So, don't want to disturb these little joeys. Yeah, that's when shit got real. That's when shit got really real. Trying to think of specifics. It's funny when you go into ayahuasca because you're told to bring an intention. And, I had some personal stuff, some work-related stuff. But for the most part, I got some little insights into that on my first night, my tame night. Basically, yeah, some little insights which kind of did give me a lot more self-assurance, a lot more trust, but nothing sort of mind-blowing. But the second night, the information that I was kind of given time after, repeatedly, had nothing to do with my intentions. In fact, what I found funny was the more I tried to bring my attention back to my intentions, like, Chris, this is why you're here. You came to debate these things. Mother Ayahuasca went, nope. you're going this way, pal, and you're looking at this, but not in a frightening way. I think the only time I was frightened the whole weekend is when I went to sneak a nectarine, and I walked straight into a massive kangaroo who didn't like me being there. There was no fear last night at all, but it was otherworldly. It's so hard to describe, and I wish I had those notes with me. The main thing that comes to mind, I had some, well, the best part of the entire weekend was during the dream stage of the second ceremony, which is where people have done their purging, they've done their journey, and they're just kind of in this kind of floaty, dreamy stage afterwards. And he played Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley, and I have never cried like I did. That it was, fuck, man. Yeah. It's like I heard that song. I'm like tearing up now. It's like I heard that song for the first time, and fuck. It was very, shit. I also had a lot come up about my mum, and that I should be doing more with her. And what's weird is I had I saw my parents get together. I saw 18-year-old parents get together, and I saw them go through the process and fall in love with each other. And then I saw what, my mother went through when my dad passed away. Yeah, it was this for like a long time. Trying to think of what else. So much for keeping it short. Come on, iPhone memory. I must have heard this one sentence 100, 200 times throughout the whole ceremony. It was let life be. Let life be. Let life be. Anytime I tried to control things, anytime I was like, oh, let's go this way now, or oh, I really need my sleeping mask because, yeah, man, that sleeping mask, fuck, I'm glad I brought that. Yeah, and anytime I had to fix something or control something, it's just this thing saying, let life be. Just let life be. I must have heard it 200 times. So it was amazing to see grown men purging and crying, but you're not in any kind of actually, yeah, I correct myself before I say that. There are times when you are, well, I felt personally just, I'm out. I was just, I was laying there on a couch at one point, and people went up for a second cup. This was last night, and I was watching them move, and I couldn't figure it out. It was like a foreign language. I was like, how are you doing that with your body? I have the same thing, and I can't. It was like it's so hard to describe, but weirdly beautiful. What else? God damn. Yeah, I might have to refer to my notes. But I'll be bringing a fucking notepad next time. A lot of ego stuff came up as well. And in my head, I saw for the first time this conversation with my ego gone. And it sort of just dawned on me that was true communication. And what's interesting is even after the ceremony, I was chatting with people over, getting some after ceremony soup and food, and everyone's just tucking in because you've just gone through such an experience. You are fucking starving. So we're woofing into soup and tea and stuff. And this just kept coming up. It kept I was having conversations with people, and I was taking my ego out of it. I was not talking for me. Any time I felt that urge, it's not like it was a bad thing, but I just felt more, give this person this moment. And yeah, it was, and weirdly I connected with people very, very, very well. Not that I ever have not, but it was different. I'm just really tired at the moment. Trying to think of what else. Just been an amazing weekend, and actually one thing that I did find humorous. There are several humorous points throughout the night, and this is the thing. You are a flood of emotion. Like the intensity of these emotions. I've just not cried like that. I don't think ever in my life. Yeah, and what's weird is you feel people going through their purge, you hear other people vomiting and stuff, and you just feel for them. And it's not like, I remember going into this thinking, people are going to be spewing around me. Gross. Ew, I don't want to deal with that. But it's this weird, beautiful thing, because you I don't know, it's like this, the emotion just builds up and up and up and up, and you purge. And I mean, I only did once, but it was huge. I think I was the second to go in the whole room as well. There was a girl before me, and then off I went. But people would continue to purge throughout the night, and you just, it's almost like a beautiful thing. You just, I remember seeing some people in tears, some people laughing, and other people just purging, and all you can think is like, get it out. Just get it out, because back in the real world, you don't have that experience. Well, you don't have the opportunity as much as you do. You're just in this environment, in this place, in this headspace, this fucking reality, in this reality where getting stuff out is the most amazing, beautiful thing. And I remember at one point, it dawned on me, this is illegal. The thought, like, ayahuasca is illegal, at least here in Australia. And I burst into tears at that. I burst into tears the moment I had that thought, and I was just like, wow, like, people aren't going to get to experience this and feel this side of themselves. And I also felt really bad for people who came for one night and went home, which is what I was so close to doing. Because if I went home after that first night, I would have gone, yeah, it's buzzy, but very overhyped. And I've been told the first time that you do it, don't expect much. And that's absolutely the case, at least if you're anything like me and the people that I chatted with. And, on that note, everyone here is like, so lovely, and there's such an array of people. Sure, you get, a couple like proper hippie people, but most people here are, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and such an array of people, and fucking smart people that are, living good lives, living good jobs, just people that have kind of been drawn here to find something out, I guess. Yeah, so not a lot more straight. Like, the crowd's a lot more straight than what I expected. And when I was chatting with a lot of them about previous drug experience and all that, I was very surprised to find that most hadn't. Most had smoked some weed, and some still smoke some weed, but most hadn't. I spent my early 20s just trying everything. I did a lot of drugs, and then just came out of it. I just didn't need them anymore. But this was, DMT, the active component in ayahuasca, it's a neurotransmitter, if I'm not mistaken. It's in our brains anyway. It's in everything. It's in plants. It's, the thing about ayahuasca is just that it's a plant, I believe the chacruna plant, which has a high concentration of DMT, but then the ayahuasca vine, the carpi vine, I believe it's called, it has something that stops your body quickly processing it, and so what happens is you have this DMT in you, this ingestion of DMT, which is, it's already in your brain, but you're just having, you know, more of it via this plant. And then the vine kind of stops your body, you know, basically says to your body, no, just don't process this just yet. I don't know why I was telling you that. Yeah, so needless to say, like, amazing experience. My biggest concern now is I gotta go and fucking coach now. How the fuck am I gonna do that? Oh man. Yeah. I hope this audio is working. It's the first time I filmed on this camera. Oh man. How am I gonna go and coach now? It seems, I mean, I love my job, it's awesome, but fuck. Yeah, it's hard to see yourself ever being the same. And you know, look, if you did pursue this path and look into it, it might be different for you. Even the shaman, shall we say, great guy that I was with last night, and the whole team, you know, there was him and a bunch of helpers, and my God, they were like a fucking military, the way they worked that room. It was phenomenal. Because when you purge, like, buckets are changed, and they're kind of looking after people, making sure everyone's okay, and amazing team. You know, but even they were saying there was a lot of shit that went down last night. There was a lot of purging and a lot of healing. There was a lot of healing last night, man. Just the guy in front of me was a burly Irishman, and just watching him just weep, man. And yeah, the guy behind me, probably the funniest moment of the entire weekend. Just because you get people kind of yelling things out as well, because you're having this, it's such an intense thing that's going on in your head that yeah, sometimes stuff comes out. I found myself a couple times going, let it go. There's something powerful about your own voice and your ability also to look at people and feel what they're feeling. It's odd. So I was with a friend, and he came out of the main room because they're little chill out rooms and you can go outside a little bit. So I was in this kind of chill out room, just laying on a couch, just my own little world, kind of having my conversation with myself or Mother Ayahuasca. And he came out, and we just looked at each other, and we knew, we just knew, like I just read exactly what he was feeling in his face. And also with strangers, I'd look around the room, and yeah, you could just feel that, you could. Where was I going with this? I should fucking go back for breakfast, man. Yeah, and so much for short, and go you, Apple, with your fucking memory. I'll get back now, and this will have no sound. It'll be me just kind of going, which would fucking suck. Let's sit down for a second. So amazing. That was amazing. A couple people said that was quite a tumultuous night. And other people just going, that was massive. Like, I had one guy come out, and I'd never met this guy before, and when I was in the chill out room, and he walked out, and he just smiled at me, and he said, "How you doing, brother?" And I was like, "I'm really good, how are you?" He said, "Mate, I think I just fucking healed my dad. The last hour, I think, and he just healed my dad." And then I told him that, the stuff that I had come up around my family, especially my mum. And yeah, man, we just I just hugged this dude. Did not want to let go either, which is odd. Just like, just because you are craving touch, at least I was. And he said to me, "You're a good man." Fuck, it got me teary again. And I'm an emotionally strong dude. Given what I do, I'm a very, you know, you've got your cliche if you're kind of broken person coming into this and crying and walking away going, that was life change. It's so cliche, but I just don't think I fall into the mix. You know, I'm a very strong, I like to think smart person. You know, I've created a lot of success for myself. I've done a lot of things. Like, I'm very science-based. I'm very science-based. Fucking massive ant sizing me up right now. You know, so I'm not the type to... My first night, I you know, walked away from here kind of just going, that was fun, but am I in a huge rush to do it again? You know, I wasn't mind blown. So I'm very... I don't know. I don't do things because they're cool. I don't say this is life-changing because I fucking read it somewhere or watched it on YouTube. I'm very, you know, I like facts, I like science, I like reason, I like objectivity. So coming from me, this emotion and this, yeah, just all of this is very, yeah. Oh, and that's why I was telling the story. There was the guy behind me, funniest time of the night, and it was very quiet, it was very chill, sort of a break between the music, and he said, he yelled out, I'm getting it! And you could see the people that were, you know, looking after the ceremony, like, shh. He's like, I'm getting it! And they're like, shh. And he's like, oh, I got it. The entire room fucking pissed itself. It was the funniest thing, but it really reminded me of The Simpsons that, you know, all in favor? Me. All opposed? Me. Like, and this guy is such a cool guy. I was chatting with him afterwards. A guy that I weirdly have already met, funnily enough, in a bizarre circumstance, but we hadn't, you know. Yeah, very cool guy, and he felt bad about that. He felt, and I said afterwards, like, you don't feel bad about that. I laughed about that another fucking 20 times throughout the night. I'd be lying there 2-3 hours later, still just in my complete dream state, and I'd remember that, and I'd just fucking crack up. Like, it was, oh, I got it. It was just a laugh of acknowledgement from everyone, sorry. Amazing to just see the room move with itself and change with the music. You know, music would get intense, and you'd get intense, and people would be purging, and which, on that note, you know, I think I've mentioned, it's such a... Later in the night, I was wishing that I could actually purge again. Purge, vomit, whatever. Yeah, it's quite an ultimate release, and how you feel after it is phenomenal. You know, they say it's when you're purging, it's like, you're not sick. Yeah, you know, he said to us last night, when you're purging, you're not sick. And you can purge, you know, I think I've taken about 6 shits in 24 hours. TMI. But you know, he said even yawns are purges, tears are purges. Obviously the obvious one is vomit and not uncontrollable, you know, you're just like, oh, I've got to go to the bathroom again. Wish I brought the baby wipes, because that dry toilet paper, getting some, it's fucking testing. Yeah, what was I saying? Something about purge. Yeah, just watching the room move with each other, and it'd go into this intense place. And you could see the shaman just holding his position and continuing to play music. And he was just kind of holding space, holding that center. With the rest of us just kind of going wherever the fuck he took us, and wherever the fuck the medicine took us. Yeah. Right. I feel I should probably head back. I've wandered. Go back, get some breakfast. Oh, man. They're doing another day today. 3 days, but unfortunately I have to, unfortunately I think I'm back to work today, which is going to be fucking interesting. My God. Yeah, more big one's heart. Like, you just, again, the cliche, man, but fuck. So the first night, again, where I didn't experience that much, I spent most of the night just fucking looking at stars going, amazing, amazing. Just beautiful. You don't see it in the city. I felt this intense pressure on my chest, and I was chatting with, and I didn't really, think much of it. And the next day I was chatting with this woman, this lovely woman who was one of the helpers. And she was saying, she said, you'll know when your heart is opening because there'll be, you'll feel pressure on your chest. And I was like, fuck me, that happened last night. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. And it almost for me came in 2 stages. That first stage was the first night where I felt that pressure, not uncomfortable, just very noticeable, this pressure on my chest, almost like someone had rested a weight on my chest. And then the second night, a lot of stuff about, particular someone in my life came up, and and I was taught about heart connection, a sexual connection, heart connection. Calm down. Jesus, okay. He's like, get the fuck out of here. So, all right, Jesus Christ. We're currently experiencing technical difficulties. I was taught about the heart connection, and not something 2 words I've not really ever put together before, but heart connection came up. Man, do you feel it? Whew. You feel that opening of your chest. What can I say? Where are we at? Half an hour. Fuck, that was very quick. All in my white gear. Even got my white Converse. The ceremony behind it as well is amazing. Even the first night when I was not mind blown whatsoever. Last night I was mind blown, to say the fucking least. But the first night, just the ceremony behind it, everyone putting on their white gear and coming and just like chilling in this room, and someone meditating, someone just chilling out. And then, the guide comes in and blesses the room. You have, they call it smudging, where they use a feather to blow, I believe, sage or smoke over your entire body. And it's not, you're not in a room and you take, a cup of ayahuasca and then you're out. It's a huge ceremony around this, and there's a lot of, it's a very spiritual thing. It's weird. Not weird, it's actually quite good, but I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was a very spiritual, there's a strong spiritual component to it, I guess. There was lots of songs in Spanish, and lots of different instruments which would affect you differently. You play like a didgeridoo versus a drum versus a flute, and then guitar, and then he'd play some music. And just the way the music affected you differently, and affected the room differently. We were basically one, moving together. Yeah, it's amazing. Again, just where it takes you. And that's not where you want it to go. A few people actually mentioned to me last night, I came wanting to think of my partner or my business or this, and they all said the same thing. It's like the intentions that you have to bring to it, it just kind of, look, some people may have, gone there. But most of the people that I spoke to just kind of went, it seemed irrelevant. It seemed, you know, I came wanting to think about this, but Mother Ayahuasca was taking me whooshoo, that way, because, and this seemed irrelevant. The thing that I wanted to bring to this experience seemed a lot more irrelevant, you know. And as someone said to me last night, you know, you might come to this wanting to heal, you know, X or Y, but you've got to go through A, B, C, D. You've got to go through the fucking alphabet before you even get to that. And a lot of that stuff you might not even be aware of that. And, you know, it was so similar to my coaching, and the mindset behind it was so similar, you know, going through this almost like this purge. This is something I've coached for years, but on a physical level, and, you know, through my own sort of, and bringing it up. There was so much stuff where a lot of the times stuff would come up and you'd be like, what's the answer? And you just get this little voice sort of saying, we're just bringing it up. We're just bringing it to your attention because you'd not, you know, that's the healing for the most part, bringing it up. I found that very interesting because, Anyway, I'm going to wrap this shit up. I gotta get back and leave these cockatoos to some peace. So, peace, love, what can I say? Awesome. Yeah, it was really, really great. So, alright, bye guys.